The Vast of Night is a science fiction movie that I heard about on RogerEbert.com. I think the reviewer gave it a solid 4 out of 4. And this movie's on Amazon Prime. You can't watch it without that, probably. But it's about a high school student named Everett. He is a sort of radio program hobbyist on the side. And he's also with his friend Faye. She is a nerd as well. And the two of them are learning to use an interview machine. So the beginning of this movie is basically just like a sort of them hanging around and just interviewing people, talking about stuff. And this is a first encounter with aliens type story about, you know, like, but it takes place in the 50s. It's like a, I don't know, 50s or 60s. I'm not really sure. But it takes place in like the old-timey America, you know, where the girls wear pearl skirts and, you know, can't wait to see the boys play at the game, you know. Go red shirts or whatever, that kind of story. And that doesn't, I guess that sort of element of that time period adds a little bit to the story in some ways and not some ways. But this was a really quaint, interesting little film. It doesn't have a very high budget. The story's interesting. I really like there are some characters that are introduced that like are hypnotizing, you know, like when they're introduced, you can't help but feel enraptured by their stories. There's two of them, and they're very interesting. Overall, the movie's short, quick, memorable. It's you know, it's definitely one of the different breed of sci-fi film. You know, there's no, you know, scene of like. It fills you with awe and wonder, very similar to like the sort of vein of Close Encounters of the Third Kind. That, you know, movie was, you know, about, you know, like contact with aliens, but it was like a nice sort of awe-inspired. So this one's very similar, and it's a little slow in the beginning, and there's not much else, but overall it's worth a look if you're a huge fan of sci-fi. So I give The Vast of Night a 6 out of 10.